Hey everybody, hope that you're super amazing. Your channel in more ways. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? So we're just gonna wait for some people to jump on this live. I'm so excited about it. So I want to talk about dating internationally, particularly about dating a Nigerian. So, and hopefully this is clear. Hopefully this is clear. So anyway, I want to jump into this because people have been asking me about dating across the pond and what do I think. And I think it's amazing. Green screen, allow access. Oops, can you see that? I don't like that. So I really want to just talk about dating and relationships and dating internationally. I think dating internationally could be or can have a very positive experience depending on the individuals that are dating, also dependent on what they want. Are they dating intentionally or are they just dating to be dating, right? Because there's a difference between dating intentionally and dating just to have fun. Dating literally means collecting data, okay? Dating means collecting data, right? So when people are out there and they are dating, right? They're collecting data. And part of the collecting data is they're discovering what they like, what they don't like, who they can deal with. They're discovering boundaries, things like that. Okay, so dating is collecting data. A lot of times people feel that when women date a lot of men that she's sleeping with all these men. Dating is collecting data. Just like a man is collecting data, a woman can also collect data, right? Again, what she likes, what she doesn't like, what resonates with her spirit, what are her boundaries, right? So she's out there collecting data just as the male is. Now, some people might decide to engage in adult activities. However, data is collecting data. So now let's jump into international dating. Okay, dating across the pond. I met my husband in the Dominican Republic. Leave it out, love. What do you mean? Oh, the intimacy. I agree. Personally, I agree, but I don't tell people what to do with their bodies, but I totally agree, and I agree for different reasons. And I'll get into that maybe later. But anyway, dating across the pond, right? So I'm constantly hearing people say, oh, there's no good men out there. Oh, there's no good women. There's great women out there and there's great men out there. You have what you say, right? Your words have power. Your words literally have power. So you have what you say. When I was out there dating, been married, as many of you know, 4 other times. I'm currently married. We've been together 10 years almost, right? But in my past situations, I still believed in love, right? I still believed that there was someone that was out there that was designed just for me, right? So you have to change your words. And I'm going to get into this international dating, okay, in one moment. I'm setting a foundation. Change your words, change your life. Okay? Change your words, change your life. As you think, so it is. As you think about you, so it is. It's going to happen. Okay? That's just a law, right? Words have power. Words are spells. That's why we spell them. Spelling. Okay? So, anyway, across the pond. Now, I have an Airbnb in Nigeria, so I'm constantly going there, right? And one thing that I could tell you is that I love Nigerians, and I actually wrote some notes down. What I love about Nigerians in particular are a strong sense of family. Literally, when I went my very first time, I called my son and I said, I want me a Nigerian grandbaby. And the reason I said that, Nigerians have a sense of family. Okay. And I love family. What I could say about the US, because I live here for the majority of the time, is that family is diminishing itself. So it's not like what it used to be. And that's why I say if you want a strong family foundation, you might want to go across the pond, right? Or you might want to create your own, even here in the US. But Nigerians in particular have a strong sense of family. Okay. Another thing that I love about them, it's a very spiritual culture. And I have to say this. The reason I'm talking about this is because a young lady hit me up regarding a young man I posted. He's 41, he's single, and he's looking for a wife in Nigeria. He painted my Airbnb. I posted it earlier today, and some time back you'll hear him singing, right? But anyway, she was like, I'm interested in meeting him. So, spirituality. Africans, Nigerians have a strong sense of spirituality. They're also hardworking, right? One thing I love when I go there, like people work really, really, really hard. They will work from sun up to sun down. And I love that. They're not lazy at all. Okay. They're very business mindset. They have a business mentality and they're very confident people. So, and speaking of the confidence, so I had someone to send me a potential contract, okay? And the price was above my reach, okay? But she stood on her business. So she would rather take nothing, which I think is foolish, than something. Okay. But they're very confident people in who they are. So just think about dating internationally if you can't find someone here. So when I say dating internationally, it doesn't have to be Nigeria, it doesn't have to be Africa, it could be anywhere in the world. When I was in Spain many moons ago, hi Jason, how are you? When I was in Spain, like literally, I was dating, right? I was collecting data. Okay, I dated a Belgian gentleman. I dated a guy from Spain. You know, I couldn't even speak the language, but we like going back and forth on Google. So, anyway, so dating is collecting data, and you can find love anywhere. There are billions of people on this earth. I think it's what, 8 billion? So, out of 8 billion people, you can't find one. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You might be looking in the wrong place, right? You might have to go into a different pond, okay? You might have to travel solo. I'm just saying, oh, I'm doing super amazing. Thank you for asking. You might want to travel solo, right? Because a lot of times when you're traveling, this is for my ladies especially, when you're traveling with a whole group of people, right? A lot of times, let's say if a man, a single man is around, he doesn't know who to pick. Okay, I'm just saying. So I loved solo travel, and that's how I met my husband. I was in the Dominican Republic for 5 weeks by myself, and we connected on my fifth week, his second day. We've been together almost 9 years, 10 years, excuse me, almost 8 years married, 10 years together. So you might want to look in a different pond. You might want to start traveling and don't say, oh, it's not safe. Baby, it's not safe here in America. Okay, so get your travel on, right? You have to be aware of your surroundings wherever you go, wherever you go. And that's okay. That's okay because we should be aware of our surroundings. Okay? The benefits of dating internationally, right? Dual citizenship. So, the way things are happening right now here in America, a lot of people want to leave, right? So, you might get dual citizenship. I'm just saying, I got mine. I got dual citizenship in Nigeria. I had my green passport. Okay. Um, Another benefit, starting an international business. Let me tell you something about Nigeria. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all these high-end purses get their leather from Nigeria. A lot of people didn't know that. Yeah, so you can start a business. So whether it's having some type of farm or doing purses, whatever it is, you can do that, right? The person that you could potentially connect with may know the lay of the land and could connect you to the different people. That way, you create a legacy. You build a business, you create a legacy, a family legacy. You can buy land, you can have an Airbnb. I have one, an Airbnb in Nigeria, right? There's so many resources. And see, the interesting part is the world has told us, excuse me, y'all, the world has told us that Africa is so bad, right? If it was so bad, why are they taking all their resources? Why are they sending all their people there, right? I put a video up that went viral on TikTok. A group of Asian people happened to land at the airport the same time I did, right? And I just kind of panned everything and I said, we need to start coming for business, but also we could come for marriage, right? We can have family. So there's so many benefits um, regarding living on the continent, fresh food, okay? Now, some of the disadvantages, okay? And these disadvantages don't really bother me. And the reason they don't bother me is because when I was like 6 or 7, I lived in Jamaica up in the hill in a hut, right? So that set my foundation for who I am, right? So I can live anywhere and feel safe and be okay. So anyway, what some of the downfalls of, I'm gonna say, Lagos, right? Because I've been to Abuja and the infrastructure is great. So in Lagos, the infrastructure isn't that great. So what might take 15, 20 minutes on a normal day for most people might take 2 hours. I'm just saying. you know, um, on the island where everyone goes to party, have fun, your celebrities are there, the big homes are there. When it floods, baby, it floods. Okay, so different parts. I literally tried to go to the African market the last time I was there, and it was flooded out. I couldn't even get in. So that's some of the bad things of Nigeria. The government, not the Nigerians hate the government. Okay, um, for me, when I'm there, I feel safe. I feel free. Okay, I'm not watching my back and things like that. Another thing that you have to watch out for is when people hear your American accent, right? They automatically assume that you have a lot of money. So what I tell them is I want African prices, period, or I don't talk. And my head of logistics, my assistant, they do all the talking for me. They negotiate and I get what I get. I'm just saying. But there's so many things that you can do in Nigeria to start a business, right? I have a friend that has a palm tree farm. I have a girlfriend that has land. She's going to build a school. My goal is to buy land and build a family compound where my family could come to. So just think about things like that as you think about international dating or matchmaking, things like that. I'm excited to interview this young lady who's interested in this guy that I posted on Wednesday, right? One thing that I find is Black American women go to date in Nigeria, into Lagos. I see Asians dating in Lagos. I see white men dating in Lagos, but I do not see Black men dating in Lagos. I have not seen that at all yet. So hopefully, maybe I could be the conduit for that because our African sisters are so beautiful. When I first went over, I just called my son like, hey, you might want to consider this. So I'm just saying. So in the chat, if you will, let me know, have you considered um, dating across the pond, wherever it is? Have you ever considered dating internationally? And if you did, right, what does that look like for you, right? If you ever considered dating internationally, what does that look like for you? Um, so my mom, when I was 6 or 7, she pulled me out of school. She sold everything, and we moved to Jamaica for love. Of course, her love. You know, she got married to a Jamaican, and that was a great experience as well. And I just realized that that was my first interaction with international dating. Like, literally, my mom set my foundation for this. My mom actually hooked my aunt and uncle up. He just died on the 26th of November. And literally, she match made them in their 20s, and they were married 54 years. I connected my mom and my dad at age 12. Um, and they were married for 43 years. So this whole matchmaking thing is in my DNA. And I told my mom, because I just learned that fact out about her connecting my aunt and uncle, I said, we should have had a booming matchmaking business years ago, especially if we would have known that it was a thing, a profession, right? But I love love. I guess that's why I've been married so many times. So I was like, I'm going to get it right. I am going to get it right. Right? So I just want other people to experience the love that literally I have, right? It's available to you, right? It's available to the young man that I'll be meeting on Wednesday. It's available to the lady that I'll be meeting on Wednesday, right? So people say, Cheron, well, people want a green card. Well, people want, everyone wants something. So be clear. Be clear. People pay for, literally. And I was approached about this years ago. Someone wanted to pay me to marry somebody for a green card. Like, no, no. But what I'm saying is everyone wants something. And what I tell the women that I've been communicating with, or anyone, like, if I was across the pond, I wouldn't want to come to America right now. I wouldn't. It's a different beast. I'm just saying. I wrote a book called No Japa to America. And basically what it says is don't come to America. Not right now. Wait a little bit, So it just depends what you want. My girlfriend, she just had a baby. Her husband came over from Nigeria, right? He works very hard. He's an engineer in Nigeria, but now he's like working these other type of jobs. You know, I would stay in my country where they see my value, where I don't have to go back to school. Because one thing I learned about Nigerians, especially me formerly being in the dental field, being a dental hygienist, is that when I took my chief of staff to the dentist. The dentist was as knowledgeable, probably more than I was. We were talking the same language. You know, me, I would love to do a dental clinic over there where I just set it up and I pay a doctor to come in and see the patients. So there's value. You can find value anywhere, right? So the thing is, what type of value do you want? What type of value do you want? I don't know if on this platform, because I don't come here often, if someone could come on the live, because if you wanted to, you're more than welcome to. And we could do like a live consultation. Normally I charge, I think it's 150 for a matchmaking consultation, but I would do it definitely for free on the live. I don't know if I could do that though. Let's see what happens. Oops, nope. I'm sorry. So no, I don't think I could do that on the live. But yeah, so I love what I do. I tell you, and I can't wait to like be the conduit for one couple internationally. I've done it locally, but I want to do it internationally. Like that's my thing. Like that's my passion. That's my drive. Um, Especially since I'll be spending more time over there. And I'm excited about it, but I'm also like, but it's all business, and I have to make sure that my business is concrete because I'm adding value to my family legacy and adding value to my husband. But I have to say this, as we're preparing to film the reality show over there in Lagos, you'll see more of that. You'll see it in the Houston edition too. The matchmaking thing, and me preparing to go over to Nigeria for matchmaking and stuff. But yeah, so anyway, if you are interested, can I comment here? Let's see. I don't even think I could comment myself. So if you are interested, see, I'm so new to doing YouTube lives. Normally I'm on TikTok. But if you're interested in a matchmaking consultation, you can definitely hit me up on my email. You can hit my assistant up. She would set something up. I don't think I can type in the messages, unfortunately. Hello at CheronKGriffin.com, or Dorcas, DORCAS, at CheronKGriffin.com. But I'm telling you, life is great when you have a partner. And it's not that life isn't great when you're single, because life can definitely be great when you're single, right? But it's a different type of great. When I was single, literally, I dated myself. I traveled alone all the time. I worked really, really, I don't want to say hard, but I was very ambitious. And I was literally preparing myself for what was to come. So then when I met my husband, it was just like, wow, I have a pretty good life, I have to say. I'm definitely loved, and I definitely love him. Like what I tell my husband all the time is, not only do I love you, I like you. Like literally, I like you. And I tell him all the time, it's not always like, oh my God, I love you. I like you as a person. I like your core. I like what you stand for. I love the value that you bring to us. And because I like him, because I love him, because I value him, because I respect him, I'm building legacy not only for me, but for us, right? Because when I eat, he eats. When he eats, I eat, right? It's not just about me. It's just not, oh, I'm a taker. No, no. As women, we should add value to the men that we are with, right? to any relationship, whether it's a business relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a dating relationship, most definitely marriage. We bring value, right? And value doesn't always mean money, right? Value could be your business mindset, right? Value could be your network. Value could be your interest in that person. There's so many ways to bring value to someone. Value could be having their children, right? What I learned the other day, and I so appreciate my children. The womb, right? The womb of a woman adds value. Why? Because she's able to bring forth life and to carry the man's name, right? For lineages. What is that one thing that men want? They want to carry their name, right? Forever. And that's one thing that a woman brings. A woman brings a sense of softness, or should, to the relationship, a sense of peace, right? One thing that I can tell you regarding me, so I used to be about it, right? I'm from Philly. My mom brought me up, my mom and dad, excuse me, brought me up in the suburbs, but we're from the hood, okay? And prior to meeting my husband and prior to healing, if someone triggered me, the hood in me would come out, right? But my husband has brought such a peace to me that the hood part of me has come down, right? I have a sense of softness. My mom says that you spoil your husband. I'm like, what? And I'm like, I just do what I feel a wife should do. She's like, no, you spoil him. I love spoiling my husband if that's the case. I love honoring him. I love respecting him. I love, you know, telling him I love him or kissing him on the forehead. And sometimes I'll just grab his face and kiss him like, I love him. I like him, right? And I think we all deserve that. But now what I have to tell you is that me and my husband, excuse me, we mutually respect each other. Okay, we respect each other. He comes from a Muslim background. I was from a Christian background. People were like, oh, that's not going to work. It works perfect for us. Why? Because we respect each other, right? We honor each other. He doesn't like, or we don't focus on religion. We focus on love. But truth be told, now we just say we're spiritual beings. We're just two spiritual people who love God, period. But marriage is about respect. A lot of times people want to say, oh, the man is the head and you must submit and all that. Do you even know what the meaning of submission is? Submission means that I make myself lower and I put you above me, right? That's the real definition if you look it up. One thing regarding me and my husband, we don't believe in that word, right? We believe that we're equal, okay? And that he leads where he's good or great at. I lead where I'm good and great at, period. And then both of us add value to the relationship in our respective places. But patriarchy has told us submit, 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 submit. The man is the head or whatever. Okay. I mean, if that's how people think, that's fine. If it works for them. For us, that's not what would work well for us. And I appreciate my husband for not believing in that patriarchy mindset that many of us have been taught. You know, I tell my husband all the time, I said, you know, you would be considered a simp, you know, to other men. Why? Because he doesn't believe like the traditional man, like what that man or other men have been taught. You know, so it works well in our household, and because of how he treats me, because of how he respects me, he gets the best of me. I'm just saying, he gets the best of me. Um, I enjoy cooking for him. I enjoy, you know, cleaning. I enjoy washing our clothes. And we both do those things, but I'm telling you, I enjoy those things. You know, he makes it easy for me, and a man should make it easy for a woman, right? You know, not make it hard. Don't be demanding. He needs to help the woman as she's helping him. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, marriage and partnership, it's about us, not you, not me, but us. How can we grow together? How can we um, create a legacy, right? How can we build financially, right? It's a we. It's not no big I's and little U's. So, if you are interested in a consultation, a matchmaking consultation, if you're single, if you're interested in coaching, I'm definitely available. I do have some resources, and I guess I'll drop those in after this live because I have some resources on healing and things like that. Healing was my best friend. Healing was my best friend. I knew I needed it because I had to walk away from a 16-year marriage, and I was angry. I was angry. But healing was the best thing that ever happened to me. And the reason I say that is because when I went through my healing phase, and healing is continuous, okay? When I went through my healing phase, I began to attract a different caliber of people, a different caliber of man, and it was like, whoa, this is good. Like, everything changed in my life. Everything changed in my life, and it felt good. It felt darn good. I had my boundaries, and I would not allow people to overstep my boundaries, right? I never had boundaries before. No one taught me about boundaries. No one even taught me about loving myself, right? So it was like I was taught to love everyone and everything else, but no one ever said, love yourself. That was weird. No one ever told me that. No one ever taught me about boundaries and not allowing people to cross your boundaries. No one ever taught me that. No one ever taught me that sometimes you have to walk alone, right? That everyone can't go with you on this journey. So the interesting part is when I changed, people literally started like falling off. I didn't ask them. I didn't become new because one thing I can say about me, I'm very consistent, right? And I love consistency. And when you desire or you start dating, you want consistency, right? So I'm a very consistent friend. I'm a very consistent partner. Um, And when people aren't consistent, to me, that's a red flag, right? But I've always been consistent. So when I got in my healing phase, people started dropping off, and I'm like, why? Like, I could not understand why, literally. But what I know is everyone can't go where you're going, right? And the moment that we try to take people where they're not supposed to go, we hold up our destiny, right? We kind of put a pause on things because spirit is saying, no, 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 they can't go. They're not prepared. They're not ready for where you're about to go. And baby, let me tell you, it hurts like hell. It hurts like hell when you heal and then people just start dropping off, right? But then after a while, you understand why, and you be okay. You be okay. You know, you just say it's a part of the process that you're going in. Because one thing I can tell you is that God knows where you're going, and God knows who can handle where you're going and who can't. So I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying. I am just saying that it's so, so important to let go of people, places, of things, okay? Um, I just had to put that out there. I just sensed that in my spirit. So I just want to do a recap real quick. Dating internationally. Why I think that dating a Nigerian might be a beautiful thing for some people. Nigerians have a strong sense of family, which I absolutely love. Okay. They're very spiritual people. Okay. They're very, 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 very hard working people. They have a business mindset. Okay. They're a very confident people. The benefits of dating internationally: dual citizenship, you can possibly start a business, family legacy, and that Africa has resources. Okay. Some of the downfalls of dating internationally, if you move to certain places, but I'm gonna speak about Lagos. The infrastructure isn't conducive for everyone. Mm, I'm gonna say the electricity. It goes out, but here in Houston, the electricity goes out too. So the electric goes out at a certain point during the day sometimes. What else? Another interesting fact is that when they hear your American voice, automatically they assume you have money, not understanding that you literally have bills in the US that are way, way, way what they might pay. So I am just saying, I wanted to just give y'all that tea right there. I appreciate everyone that has come on the live and being with me on it. Man, I need to go live here more often. I really do. But I just be so busy and I'm like, what can I talk about every day? Like, I don't see how people literally go live every day, but people do it and I think it's super amazing and it's like work. But the thing is, it's a different type of work because you're really giving so much energy into what you're doing. So it's like pouring out. It reminds me of when I used to preach, and when I go out and I speak afterwards, I am like so, so tired. But anyway, I hope that I have helped you out. I hope that I have dropped some gems in your life today. Yeah, this was good. So I'm gonna give my own self a hand clap. You did the damn thing, Cheron. Yay! And I'm taking my bow. So my nails will get done probably in the next 2 weeks. When I went to South Africa, they kind of messed up my nails. And I can't wait to go to Nigeria to get them done again. But I'm so excited. If you're interested in traveling to Nigeria with me, please just drop it in below down in the DM. And you know, the message is not the DM. And I promise that I will get back to you. Ooh, I did it, I did it. Yay! Have a good one, everyone. Have a good one.